Namaskar, welcome to fortune telling training. We are continuing the narration connected with chart number 393 in Kannada version and chart number 418 in English version. We are exploring the great workbook Bhrigu Nandi Nadi, play of Karakatva of planets in Rao'S system. It's deeper getting into the concept of combination of planets along with the Rashi indications or Rashi Gunas, Rashi Tattvas, Rashi Karakattvas will not be there. Karakattvas, Rashis has got Karakatva, its lordships also, but their Gunas will also be taken into consideration. Rashis is considered in many other ways that we'll be discussing as we progress. Now, the chart next discussed about father's work. The father signified with son, right? The father is signified with his son. Sun is in Kumbha. Though there is third link in Aries, third link, Saturn, Ketu, Moon, the book says Sun, Father, plus Saturn is debilitated, hard work, plus Moon, water, Ketu, agriculture, and says water and food material. This is not that clear because it has to be understood in many, many ways. Now, it is not clear. It doesn't mean that there are many things which is already told earlier. Therefore, we have to bring back those memories, whatever he has said, then again assimilate all those things, then try to understand the chart. That is the method of reading his workbook called Bhrigu Nandi Nadi. It is not a grantha, it is a workbook where he will not repeat, same whatever. He is not writing a book, he is writing for himself. So whatever he knew, why should he repeat it again? So therefore, he'll be taking only the particular content only. He will be trying to analyze the prediction given in the chart that he will try to analyze and try to correlate. Many things he already knew. So why should he repeat again and again? That is the one part. That is, you have to understand very clearly. Therefore, right from the beginning, every sutra you have to remember. Then only we can read his workbook. Grabs the hidden explanation. At the backdrop is the house of service. At the backdrop, the house of service. This is Saturn, that is Makara, is house of service. Where Mars is positioned Mars is positioned here. Mars has exchange with Saturn. Mars has got exchange with Saturn. Now the Sun is linked to Mars, agriculture, Mercury, transactional services, and also it can also indicate crops. Saturn, it is hard work. Ketu, tilling. Ketu is coming into picture, tilling. Moon, water, food and water. So the agriculture part, everything is simply Vyavasaya, I said. But in this, especially when he said about father's this thing, he said only food and water. But the main thing is it is a Vyavasaya, agricultural matter. That means it was an inherited hard working because it is in 12th. The entire activity is related to 12th. He is going to there, that is getting inherited. Hard-working job related to production of food. It is inherited. It is coming from the vamshaparampara. That's why Sun is involved, Saturn is involved, is vamshaparampara, services, connected with services. All these things indicate that it is a inherited job. Now, this is about the native. Now, next we'll talk about the native because we have talked about inheritance. It should somewhere visible in the native's life also. Because of vamshaparampara, vritti, inherited vocation, the same is continued with a little modification, higher techniques by the native. Jupiter is in the Venus house expertise. Right? Jupiter Venus exchange. Jupiter and Venus exchange, Jivakaraka will get exchange. And that is Venus comes back to luxury house. It's a question of luxury. Exchange with Venus gets back to his comfort zone. Venus gets comfort zone. Jupiter goes to his own house. That is, Venus means That is the Jupiter. Then Jupiter will have next Mars and Mercury, which is the inherited profession of the father. Then he is getting it here. The agricultural activity progressed with the money-related prosperity. This is mentioned in the last para of the book. So he has mentioned in the last para about this. But unless you bring it here and relate it, you will not understand what is the inherited profession. Therefore, Jupiter is now continuing whatever his earlier people have done, vamshaparampara. So now it is clear. Next, he talks about curse to father due to bad deeds in the Purvajana. Now he's taking there is a curse. So before analyzing details of previous birth, before getting into previous birth details of the father, let us just find out identity. Let us try to find out and identify whether the father has any curse. This can be applied to any Jivakaraka. That is, but whichever Jivakaraka you are analyzing, you can take this principle to apply whether there is a sin factor attached to that Jivakaraka. The sun gets Achadana of Rahu from Tula. Sun is here, Tula, Rahu, Achadana is here. So that is, the sun is attached with sins indicated by Rahu. Rahu indicates Pami, wicked, Pashanda, false doctrine, Asatyavadi, liar, Paraninda, blaming, Chandala, outcast, Kushtarogi, leprosy, or dangerous diseases. Many of these represented by 8th house. Generally, in traditional astrology, 8th house contains many of these things. Therefore, in traditional astrology also, Rahu, when you take, you should consider that he is representing the 8th house when you take as a Karaka. So, the sin, it also indicates sin in the classical. Now, we are not bothered with classical text now because it is, we are talking about here. Now, Sun has got Rahu connection, especially from the house of Vyapara. That is, this is Venus, Vyapara. That is some sort of sin connected with the material aspect is there. If any planet as Jivakaraka is in his enemy sign, now, what is the principle? If any planet as Jivakaraka is sitting in his enemy sign, or if Rahu has linked with Jivakaraka from an enemy sign to the same planet, it indicates sin factor of Jivakaraka. That is, for example, any planet sitting in the enemy sign. Now you should know who are the enemies and who are the friends. Let us say. Now, in this case, Sun is sitting in the Saturn, enemy's house. Now, Rahu is sitting in the Venus house. Maybe friendly for Rahu, but this house is also enemy to Sun. And it is also debilitated sign of the Sun. And it is the exalted sign of the Saturn. Now, how the relationship come here? Then, because there is a sin factor involved, that is followed by a curse. That is, sin is involved because he committed a sin. There is a curse involved. Will curse the destruction, and the curse will will the curse destruction either in the same birth or next birth. Either the curse is that it can affect the same birth or it can affect the next birth also. We don't know. In this chart, Sun is in the Saturn's house, which is an enemy sign. Rahu is Tula sign. Rahu is Tula sign of Venus, which is not only enemy sign but also debilitated sign of Sun. Right. Besides being exalted sign of Saturn, indicating jubilant in committing sins. Saturn is exalted, jubilant in action. Sin. Rahu, the fifth and ninth axis, this indicates the karma of sin in the father's action. So therefore, the son, father of this Jivakaraka father, had committed sins. It is confirmed. Next step is that whether that sin is going to have effect in this Janma or the previous Janma, or it is going to, or it is the same Janma, or it is going to be transferred to next Janma. All these things has to be studied. Having established the sin factor to father, now it is to explore same to find out reasoning of curse. Much before getting into reasoning, remember the point explained in my previous videos. The signs and planets in 4812, the signs and the planet in 4812 from any planet indicate history, mystery, and context of the planet under analysis. Right? Right? A planet behind in the same sign, a planet behind the same sign, in the same sign, it is behind a particular planet, same sign, indicate the background. What is the background? What happened earlier in that part? If there is a change in nakshatra, it can be a past history. Suppose in the same nakshatra, if there is a degree wise, a planet is lower than the planet which we are analyzing, then it indicates that some background. Then if it is one nakshatra is different is there, then it is a past history. If the planet is in 12th, it is then if it is going to 12th sign, behind sign, then it is a Janma behind. If it is the 8th sign, suppose if it is in the 8th sign, it may indicate earlier Janma. Not only previous Janma, earlier Janmas also. The 4th may indicate mental influence by the memories. The 4th sign, mental influence by the memories. Because of whatever you did, that memories will be there, that will be haunting. So this is how the 4-8-12 has to be analyzed. Now, Sun has no planet behind. In the same sign, there is no planet. There are planets previous sign. There is planet in the previous sign. That means it is taking back to previous birth. That means it is the effect is for the previous birth. He is going to suffer now because Rahu is affecting here. Now, the Sun shifted to Makara. Now the Sun has gone to Makara. Saturn plus Ketu, that is Makara. That is Saturn plus Ketu. That is because this Saturn and Mars exchange. Saturn Ketu. Saturn debilitation is not considered as the Saturn is exchanged with Mars. In Mesha, that is in Mesha, it has got Jupiter in second. Jupiter is second. Spiritual orientation intending to beg. Now, this thing is, this Jupiter is talking about, we are talking about the Jupiter who is interfering here. Because this Saturn, the karma, has heard what he has committed. This karma is linked to Jupiter now. Jupiter and Ketu. Jupiter and the background Ketu is the Jupiter and Ketu is Bhiksha. Bhiksha is there. Bhiksha is there. And Jupiter Venus exchange is also there. That means he is a traveler. Bhiksha, a traveler. And you see Jupiter and Ketu Bhiksha, that is, he is a Bhikshu. Saturn exchanges to reach Makara. Therefore, Saturn, the karma goes to Mars, that Mars house. The sign Makara is behind the original sun, Kumbha. So it is, original sun is here, it is behind sign, that is the night time. Night time, a Bhikshu entered his house, father's house in the previous Janma, for begging, right? So Bhikshu, for taking Bhiksha, reaches at night to the house of father, Makara. Saturn and Sun, Makara are enemies. Saturn and Sun are enemies, right? That means, again, the exchange link of Mars and Ketu, stubbornness, harshness, and father. Father abuses Jupiter, Moon Ketu. He is Jupiter. He will abuse Moon Ketu is blemish. Moon Ketu, and then Jupiter Moon Ketu connection comes here. Abuse Bhikshu. That means he scolds the Bhikshu because he is begging. What was the curse? In exchange, Mars goes to Aries and meets Moksha Karaka Ketu. And what happened? What is the curse? The Mars, brother of the father, goes to this. He'll go to here where Ketu Moksha Karaka is there, the death of brother. Now, Sun, father is having Jupiter, Putra Karaka in the 5th house. So, Jupiter Karaka, he is Jupiter, he is the Sun. Then, in the same house, in the same Venus house, Rahu is sitting here. That is, it is for Jupiter, it is a death indicating factor. That means progeny under the curse. Therefore, the father will lose his brother and sons. This is how the curse is being established. It is not cakewalk to understand the play of Karakatva of planets in Rahu system. Because many times he has told Jupiter and Rahu effect will be there. And now this particular point, the same house, the same Kaksha, Venus Kaksha. They are sitting here. There are a lot of interference of Venus because unless Bhoga is there, the Krodha will not come. Because of some Venus, that Bhoga, when it is affected, you will get Krodha. So therefore, that is interesting part here. You have to consider this same Rashi sign that I already told. Then surprisingly, Viral Sun in chart has a Rahu effect, basically. in which it is considered curse to father. That means the native may also have problems with regard to progeny. Right? You will have sun also a progeny, indicator of progeny. Rahu, when placed in Tula, the debilitated sign of sun, indicates sort of sarpa dosha. If linked to sun, the curse continues. Therefore, unless this gentleman performs a sarpadosha puja, this may continue for the next generation also. Again, sun and Rahu is there, it is going to continue. So these are all the indications where a raw system of Nadi astrology, if you take a chart, a lot of things will be there. There is a third session the same for the same chart, right? Thank you very much. We'll meet again.